The Londonpreneur Show with Michelle Carter.
Welcome to another episode of The Londonpreneur Show, where I interview a new entrepreneur every week. Today's episode brings you Matter Architectural Studios. The owners here with me are Stephen Cooper and Phil Sharon. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So let's get right down to business. What is Matter Inc. for short form?
Well, Matter Architectural Studio is London, Ontario's newest architectural office. Mm-hmm. So we're providing full services to our clients. Everything from conceptual design all the way through to construction documentation and construction administration.
Great. And you just started this year, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it was July of this year. Yeah.
What made you both decide to partner up and start your own business?
Well, we've been doing it for a long time. We've been in the industry for a combined 20 years.
Oh, okay.
And we just, I think Steve and I complement each other with respect to what we do with the industry, mm-hmm. in the industry. And it just worked out well that we have a good synergy together and able to, provide interesting perspectives on the projects that we get.
Very good. So what did you do before you decided to start your own business? What was your background before?
We've worked in the profession, so I've been employed in the architectural field since 2006.
Okay.
I was trained as a technologist first, and then I went back to university to get my my master's in architecture.
And yourself?
I've been I worked in Windsor since 2002, and eventually made my way up to London in 2007.
What brought you to London?
Actually, just London has been for my wife and my two boys has been a great city. We've visited here quite often and just enjoyed it a lot. So we thought, maybe a change of pace was needed. So we were kicking around the idea of, do we go to London? Do we go to Toronto? And London just put a smile on our face every time we came up here to visit. So we decided to make that this our home.
Very good. And have you been in London long?
About the same time, about 6 years.
6 years.
And for myself, my wife went to Fanshawe College.
Okay.
And she really enjoyed the experience here. And around 2008, 2009, when the bottom dropped out of our industry, mm-hmm. We decided, I was working in Detroit at the time, and we decided it was either stay there and make a run in Windsor or try something different. Mm-hmm. And when we started looking, London offered a progressive planning department. It had nightlife. It had... there was just lots to do here.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, there's better prices than Toronto, right? So we decided this was the spot for us.
So being in business just since July of this year, correct? Mm-hmm. Have you made any sales yet?
We have. We've done a few projects, completed some. We have a lot on the go. For us right now, a lot of it is marketing. Mm-hmm. Steve, he does a big chunk of the marketing. He's got a good handle on that, so it creates challenges, but that's what takes up a lot of our time right now.
Is the marketing.
Yeah.
What type of marketing strategies are you using right now?
A lot of it, quite frankly, is just reaching out to people, having conversations like this, sitting down, letting people know who we are, that we exist, that we're offering services. And the ones that we have been successful with, we've booked some multifamily residential projects. We've just signed on to be prime architects for a medical facility in Sudbury. Mm-hmm. And we've had some really, really strong conversations here with some of the cultural and institutional facilities in the city, and we're hopeful that we'll, at some point, very soon, be able to help the gang out.
So it's just the two of you in the company so far?
Right now.
That's correct.
And you plan on growing the company in the future?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Where would you like to see it go in the next 5 years, say?
Next 5 years, obviously we'd like to gain a good talent of staff that we can rely on and be part of our team. It's one thing that we really like to push as a team firm that everybody's involved in and everybody knows what the project's about. But I can see not only our staff growing, but our projects growing. Mm-hmm. So the sky's the limit on that, really.
Do you have a vision of what's the best project you'd like to land, or anything specific?
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. What we want to do is interesting work that people can enjoy.
Okay.
Something that we can turn into a piece that's remarkable for the city, that people want to interact with, that they want to be a part of, get excited about.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we want to do good work for our clients. The complexity and the size of the project to us really doesn't matter. It's just about making sure that it's the right building and the right solution at the end of the day for everybody, right?
Yeah, as long as it functions well for the end user, that's what really counts for us. It can be 4 walls and a roof, and as long as the client, the end user is satisfied with that, and it meets their goals, and we're happy with that.
Interesting. So have you received any business advice outside of your own business?
Lots.
Is there anything specific that you don't disagree with, you do disagree with?
We've had a lot of mixed reviews about whether or not you need a website.
Okay.
Yeah, especially in our field, because the typical response was, if you get a website, it's just other architects looking at your work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what we found, talking to other architects in the profession here in the city and outside the city, that you don't need one. Don't bother with one.
Really?
But yeah, it's really funny. But then every person that we spoke with who's not in the profession says to us immediately, "Well, where's your website? Where can we see your stuff?" Right. And so I think that there may have been a disconnect from some of the people that we spoke with there. But I wouldn't say it was necessarily bad advice. It was really just, for them, a website wasn't something that was necessary. But for us being new and for us trying to get the name out and get people to understand who we are, it's a necessity.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think a lot of people nowadays, that they look for, like, as we say, we're from Matter Architectural Studio, they're going to go right onto their phones and look for Matter Architectural Studio to see what we have available. So,
or at least look for a phone number so they know how to ask you more questions.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Good. So you have a website already.
We do.
Have you incorporated any social media marketing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn. We have personal Facebook accounts, but we're trying to keep it to, a few tailored pieces of social media.
Can you give me some specific experiences with marketing on LinkedIn?
Quite frankly, we're using it to let people know what it is we're doing.
Okay.
And so it's really just either it's blurbs about, what it is that's happening that day. So the website's launched. We're in town. It's very direct.
Yeah.
Or it's relaying information that we think is viable to clients. So, these are good ideas for schools. These are good ideas that other architects or somebody else in the profession is doing for specific typologies of work.
You're right.
Right? So it's really just, I guess, letting people know how we think or what we think are interesting ideas, and so that you can find connections and synergies with people that way. That's, I don't know about you, Phil, but that's how I've been.
Yeah, it's also another way to like, people aren't going to be on our website, every day or every week even. So it's a way to let people know that, we're doing a project for Habitat for Humanity. Certain items like that people may go onto LinkedIn in between our website and get that information.
I'd like to get into a couple questions maybe on a more personal level with you guys. Can you tell me about you, Stephen? What are some of your personal hobbies that you like to do outside of business?
This is going to make you laugh. So I play drums.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now ask Phil the question.
And you, Phil?
I also play the drums.
Really? Yeah. Did you both play the drums together? Is that so?
No.
No?
The funny story there is that, so we're both from Windsor.
Okay.
We lived probably 3 blocks from one another.
Yep.
We have the same circle of friends.
Yeah.
We both played in local bands in the city.
Yeah.
But we've never met until we moved here.
You never met until you moved to London.
Yep.
That's right.
But we know the same people.
Yep.
So how did you guys meet?
We were working on a mutual project through firms, like competing firms that we were both working for at the time.
Very good. And you just got along in that project, and then you decided to...
Yeah, we stayed in touch, and it just amalgamated from there.
So you guys play the drums in your spare time. You guys are part of a band as well in your spare time?
Used to.
There's no time for that. We're starting a business.
So what are the hours like during your business hours or your working week?
Well, I mean, on paper it's 8:30 to 5, but in reality it's
reality
8:30 to
how many hours
midnight,
you putting in?
1 a.m., 2 a.m. A lot, probably 12 to 14 hours a day.
12 to 14. Wow. Same for you?
Same, yeah. Usually get home 5:30 and spend some time with my wife and 2 boys. And once they go to bed, then crack open the computer again and
Back
keep
to
on
work.
going.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Do you have any advice for those starting to think about getting into the architectural business? Or in business in general in London?
Well, in general, I mean, don't be afraid.
Okay.
We have talked about doing this for quite some time, and I'm extremely happy that we went ahead and did it. And there's a really freeing what's the word I guess I'm trying to find here. There's a very freeing idea behind being the master of your own destiny.
Yeah.
And being able to chart your own course and effectively, make your path yourself, right?
Right.
And so just don't be afraid to do it.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Just
Don't
go
be
for
afraid.
it.
Just go for it.
Same advice from you?
No, it's great advice. I mean, it's at times it's a little scary, but at the same time, it's really rewarding. You see a project go out the door, and you know that you put everything into that project, and it's coming from the both of us. Our ideas are right there, and it's really rewarding to be a part of and see go out the door.
Absolutely. Well, where can we and the audience follow you in your business growth?
So online, you can find us at matterinc.ca.
Okay.
And from there, we have links to our Twitter accounts and to our other social media outlets there.
And we can follow up on those projects that you'll be landing.
Yeah,
right.
hopefully. That's the plan.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode. Be sure to check out us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and LondonPreneurs.ca. We'll talk to you next week.